not an issue at all, would work seamlessly. But the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there is any information developed that anyone else was involved, that between PSP and the FBI, that will very quickly be followed up on. So I think at this time we would open it up to questions from all of you.
Was this a lone wolf attack?
Again, I think it's too early to say that. We have one shooter tentatively identified, but we're not stopping there. We're following up on a lot of information. It will be some time until we can conclusively say or answer that question, I think.
Hiking up there. We saw the snipers up there, as the crowd was kind of rolling in, and looked like they had a pretty good viewpoint to check everyone out. So how long did that guy get up there?
Again, that will all be part of the investigation, but that will all be part of the investigation. But I can tell you that preliminarily it appears everything unfolded very quickly. So, again, we'll have more information on that, but it's just too early to start definitively saying this happened at this exact time.
Inside the security perimeter, right? That building design is outside of it?
That's correct.
How far outside of it was it?
We'll have that information for you. It was some distance outside of the...
Colonel, when you comment on reports that there were people who saw someone on the roof who tried to alert authorities?
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity.
Alrighty, let's talk about crypto
the
now.
Specific response to this will be all part of the after action.
So let's look at the Fear Greed Index. Before I get into that, I want to get rid of this. Do know that we have a Telegram channel, and you can join it right here. We also have a Patreon. You can join that through the Telegram. Link to join that is in my bio on TikTok. But right now, the Fear and Greed Index, we are at 33. Bitcoin did make a higher high today in the most recent uptrend. That's something I do want to get into. And I actually think this whole Trump thing that happened today, thankfully he's alive, but I think that's really bullish for crypto and for the convention that is starting on Monday. I think that's only going to give them more motivation going into the election. I think, I think it has something positive to do with crypto in some way. Because right after it happened, we got a nice spike up in crypto. Maybe that was just a coincidence. But let's kind of start on the weekly time frame and kind of see what's going on in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, this is on the Coinbase chart. I'm going to zoom in really quickly. We can negate for at least right now the bear flag that we got going on. We could still make a lower low, but for right now, I do not see downside action, at least like the weekly chart's oversold, right? The monthly chart is overbought still, but the weekly chart looks really good for Bitcoin. The 3-day time frame is just starting to curl up here, and if Bitcoin breaks 60,000, the next top is $65,500 on Bitcoin. So really, I like where we're going. Now the daily time frame, it doesn't look great to me. You have to break this, you're at resistance and you're overbought, so just be aware of that. But like the smaller time frames are resetting on the stock RSI, and when I say the smaller time frames, I guess I'm talking about mainly the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame is trying to make a higher high. It got above the 200-day moving average way down here, around 58,000. So Bitcoin can break $60,000. I do see a nice 60,600, I should say. I see a move up to $65,700, $65,500 on Bitcoin. If I go down to the 15-minute time frame, that is also making a bull flag, in my opinion. It's not the most beautiful one, but to me that's still a bull flag, a bull pennant. So I like what Bitcoin is doing on the smaller time frames. Let me get the measure move right now. So Bitcoin right now on the 15-minute chart says that it's not, I didn't draw that perfectly, but the measure move would take you above resistance to 61,200. If Bitcoin can crack 60,600, and especially if Bitcoin stays above 59.6, because that was your last local high before today, if you stay above 59.6 and especially 60,600, I'd see more upside for Bitcoin as high as 65,700. So that's what's going on. Maybe that move doesn't happen until Monday or Tuesday of this next week. But honestly, I'm liking what I'm seeing in Bitcoin. The weekly chart is just getting started again, so I think Bitcoin's in a good spot right now. The monthly does say you could go lower, so just be cautious. I'm not saying the bottom's in, but I'm saying at least super short term, I think the weekly chart's going to take over and give you, if nothing else, worst case scenario, maybe the weekly chart makes a lower high, and then the monthly continues to push you for a lower low. But at least short term, I see a move into the $60,000 range on Bitcoin. Based on the weekly time frame. If you guys have requests for all altcoins, appreciate if you just let me know in the comment section and I will look at them. I did order a new computer, so I will be getting that in at the end of the month, and I'll be back live on YouTube. I'm going to start posting more TikTok videos because of that, because I'm not live on YouTube or on YouTube right now, so look out for that tomorrow. I'll be at the Republican convention tomorrow in Milwaukee as well, so I'll probably do some coverage on that as well. So anyways, if there's requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. We'll look at that, but for right now, I'm liking what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I have been watching Blast. This is on Coinbase. This is a Coinbase chart. It's also on other exchanges, and it's in a nice uptrend. You have a higher low, and you put in a higher high, and now you've put in a higher low. Now can we put in a higher high above 18 cents or 1.8 cents? That's really what I'm looking at. We'll see what happens. It's a pretty new coin because there's not a lot of data, but it's in an uptrend as long as you hold a level of 1.5 cents. So that is one altcoin I would have on my radar. Market cap for Blast is about $300 million. So it's just something to have on your radar for a possible gainer in the next few weeks if you can continue this uptrend on the 2-hour time frame. So I don't see any requests, so that's kind of interesting. But anyways, that's kind of what I'm looking at. That's the only altcoin that I really have on my radar tonight is Blast. You can buy that on Coinbase. I also did leave MEXC because they're starting a KYC for people in the US, and I live in the US, so I actually don't use I do not use MEXC anymore. I did start a new exchange. If you guys want to find out what exchange that is, join the Telegram and you can ask me that. I believe it's called DYDX, but I can send you guys a link if you join the Telegram group, which is free to join. Link to join is in the bio. But yeah. So if there's any requests for altcoins, let me know and I will look at them. But I think a lot more people want Trump to win than they want Biden to win, and I believe based on what happened today, based on the convention that's upcoming, that's going to give the convention even more hype than it already had because Trump survived. And if I just think that Bitcoin is gearing up for a bigger move. And for some reason, I think just based on what happened in the news, for some reason that propelled people to buy Bitcoin. I believe all that craziness happened right around here, and then right after we got the spike up. So I don't know why people would start buying Bitcoin right after Trump got shot almost, but I don't know. I also think with the Republican convention, especially if Trump becomes president, that's going to get people excited. People are going to want to get back in the markets. We'll see what happens. But I like what's happening for Bitcoin, and I really think that there's going to be a correlation to what happens with Bitcoin and whatever happens at that convention this upcoming week in Milwaukee. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe I'm full of shit. We'll see. If you guys would hit the likes, it does help the channel. I appreciate it. Maybe some of the views are lower because I'm not on YouTube. That could be why, because I think most people watch me on YouTube anyway, but that is what I'm looking at. So altcoins I'd have on my radar is Blast, and then for Bitcoin, like the daily chart is overbought, so just doing a quick recap, but like the 3-day time frame and the weekly are just getting started, so I do see a move probably close to all-time highs before we either get a double top or we get a higher high. The monthly is pushing down, so I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin did push up to like the all-time highs and then get rejected back down for a lower low. We'll see what happens. But like this next week, I'm predicting we see $65,500 on Bitcoin, and that is kind of what we're looking at in the markets. If this convention in Milwaukee goes really well, I'm expecting that to happen like early this week. If it, if nothing crazy happens there, then maybe it'll be later. But I still think by like Friday, Bitcoin's at least would have touched, even if it's just a wick, 65,500, that resistance 65.7 area. That's what I'm expecting. Anything can happen, but we'll see what happens on Bitcoin. I'm expecting to move up this week though. I guess to the upside, 65.5, 65.7 is the next massive resistance on the weekly time frame. If for some reason, and this can very well happen, if for some reason we do not get the move up, I would be looking for $57,000 to be the next support, and then you have that massive support on the weekly time frame at 53,500, where you had the last bounce on Bitcoin. So to the upside and downside, those are the support and resistance areas. But I am actually looking for more to the upside on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm more bullish than bearish short term, or at least for this week, but that's kind of my outlook going forward based on if we go up or down. Those are the price levels to watch out for. But yeah, I'm expecting we see at least 65,500 this week by Friday at the latest on Bitcoin. I could be wrong. That's my prediction. And if that happens, altcoins are probably gonna, very likely go up. Most altcoins will go up. With that being said, guys, I don't have anything else to talk about. If you guys have other requests, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep watching this, and I don't think there's any new news in, but I'm gonna keep watching this. If you guys have a request, I'll go look at that. But otherwise, I'm gonna keep watching this. I'll continue the live for a little bit longer, but I'll be back live in 2 days anyway. So yeah.
Are you monitoring if there have been any threats in response to this? Are you worried? Have there been any specific threats?
That's certainly a concern, and we're monitoring that whole situation. I mentioned that we're bringing a lot of assets to bear, and so like the FBI utilizing their analysts, we also have the Pennsylvania Criminal Intelligence Center. We will utilize the resources of our intelligence division and the Criminal Intelligence Center to be able to monitor for concerns about any threats, regardless of the side of the issue or the political spectrum. We want to make sure that we try and avoid any further violence.
But no, nothing specific so far.
No, sir.
You never identified you by name. Can you say anything about the other folks who were injured or killed? Were they adults, male, female, anything at all?
They were adults.
Yeah, Bitcoin did pump and dump. I don't really think it dumped, actually. I still think we're up for the day, a few percent.
How difficult the day is just for your department, though, or all your departments, to talk to these family members, including the civilians who were going down?
But we might have to go back down because usually on weekend pumps, they don't last. We'll see what happens.
Conversations like, and how do you kind of get through that?
We have trained investigators, and we're partnered hand in hand with the FBI again because we've got some federal violations.
But people should have known
some state
immediately that he
violations.
lived. I
So
mean,
our
I think that was pretty obvious. So I don't think that's the reason it went down. It just went up way too fast. Usually when it goes up really fast, it comes down really fast.
And trying to conduct them as quickly as possible, and then there will be follow-ups. With the FBI asking for people to call in tips, I have no doubt that we will receive a lot of additional information that will also require follow-up. But again, we're working very well together, and it's only a short matter of time until we get through all of those interviews.
How close and cold was it for President Trump?
There were no police hit with bullets.
From your experience, how close and cold was it for President Trump?
I'm not going to speculate or comment on that.
Have any of you talked to the president? Did any of you have any kind of reaction?
No.
Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular rally outside of the United States Secret Service?
Well, Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very.
I don't think there's
closely.
any really new
It's,
news, so I'm gonna end it. But I'll be back
and I hate to use
live
the word routine, but it is
Monday
a fairly
around the same
routine,
time.
Matter for all of our agencies to work. jointly
Actually, I guess
with
it'll probably
the
be
Secret
later
Service.
Monday
And it
because I'm
really
working.
depends on
So it'll be like
venue,
Tuesday, early
on
morning
what
Central
information
Time.
is out
Well, I'll be
there,
back live
what-
in
what,
about 2
number
days,
of resources
going over the
are
markets, and we'll see where
devoted to
Bitcoin's
it.
at. I do predict we're going to be up
And
higher
we work with them
on Monday night,
to,
Tuesday morning than we are right now in Bitcoin.
provide
I still
whatever
think
is requested by the
65,500
Secret
will
Service,
be
but they're the
incoming.
lead
But
in
with
that
that being said,
security.
I'm going to wrap it up. I don't think there's any new news with what happened earlier today. So yeah, and I don't see any requests for altcoins, so I will see you guys back live Monday night. If you guys want to stay tuned on when I'm going live officially, because I won't be, it will be after 11 p.m. Central Time. Join the Telegram. I'll let you guys know in there. I'm also going to let my trading group know. But yeah, I'll see you guys in about 2 days for our next live stream. Until then, have a good weekend, and see you guys in about 2 days.
Trump's team, extra security, any of the agencies that are out there.